Africans have been crafting architectural wonders long before it was trendy. From the pyramids of Egypt to the mud brick mosques in Mali, the continent's architectural prowess is as diverse as its wildlife. African architecture isn't just about buildings. It's a reflection of centuries-old traditions, cultural beliefs, and community values. Each structure tells a story of resilience, resourcefulness, and creativity passed down through generations. If you love ancient pyramids but wonder where the skyscrapers are, stick around. You're about to discover the real reason. Africa's architectural landscape is a vibrant tapestry of shapes, colors, and textures. Whether it's the intricate carvings of Nigeria's Yoruba houses, Ghana's Fante houses, and futuristic designs, or the futuristic designs of South Africa's urban centers, one thing's for sure: Africa doesn't do bland. Have you ever wondered why there are fewer skyscrapers in Africa compared to countries like China, the USA, and Europe? Let's explore some of the reasons behind this architectural difference. To understand this disparity, we must first look at the historical and economic context of Africa. Unlike China, the USA, and Europe, Africa has faced numerous challenges such as colonialism, political instability, and underdeveloped infrastructure. These factors have hindered the continent's ability to invest in and construct. Cities like Johannesburg and Lagos are seeing growth, and with better infrastructure and investments, skyscrapers might soon rise. China, on the other hand, has seen a rapid economic transformation in the past few decades, leading to a construction boom of skyscrapers in cities like Beijing and Shanghai. The Chinese government's focus on urbanization and modernization has fueled the construction of these impressive buildings, symbolizing China's rise as a global economic powerhouse. In the USA, the construction of skyscrapers dates back to the late 19th century, with iconic buildings like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building in New York City. The country's capitalist economy and emphasis on innovation have enabled the USA to continue building skyscrapers that push the boundaries of architectural design and engineering. Europe, too, has a long history of skyscraper construction, from the Eiffel Tower in Paris to the Shard in London. The continent's diverse architectural styles and urban planning have resulted in a variety of skyscrapers that reflect Europe's cultural heritage and innovative spirit. In contrast, Africa's skyline is often dominated by low-rise buildings and informal settlements. The continent's limited access to capital, skilled labor, and materials has made it difficult to undertake large-scale construction projects like skyscrapers. Additionally, the lack of strong regulatory frameworks and corruption in many African countries have deterred foreign investors from financing such ambitious projects. Some of the factors preventing Africa from building more skyscrapers includes economic factors. One of the main reasons Africa has fewer skyscrapers is due to economic factors. Building tall structures like skyscrapers requires a lot of money, resources, and technology. Many African countries may not have the financial means to invest in such large-scale projects. Another reason for the scarcity of skyscrapers in Africa is the prevalence of informal economies and land tenure systems. Many African cities have a high rate of informal settlements, where land ownership is unclear and construction regulations are often ignored. This informal economy makes it difficult for developers to secure land for large-scale projects like skyscrapers. Another reason is the lack of infrastructure in many African countries. Building skyscrapers requires a strong foundation, reliable transportation systems, and access to utilities like water and electricity. Without these basic infrastructure components in place, it can be difficult to construct tall buildings. Urban planning and zoning regulations also play a role in the lack of skyscrapers in Africa. Some cities may have restrictions on building heights or zoning laws that prevent the construction of tall buildings. This can limit the potential for skyscraper development in certain areas. Urban planner. The dearth of skyscrapers in Africa is not solely due to economic reasons, but also cultural and environmental factors. Many African cities such as Marrakesh, Morocco, Cairo, Egypt, Accra, Ghana, Stone Town, Zanzibar have a horizontal expansion model rather than a vertical one, with sprawling suburbs and informal settlements. In some cases, the lack of infrastructure, like reliable electricity and water supply, makes it challenging to sustain tall buildings. Cultural and historical factors can also influence the architecture of a region. In some African countries like Uganda and Sudan, traditional building styles and materials may be preferred over modern skyscraper designs. This cultural preference can impact the demand for tall buildings in the region. Environmental concerns may also contribute to the lack of skyscrapers in Africa. Building tall structures can have a significant impact on the environment, including issues related to energy consumption, waste management, and urban sprawl. Some African countries such as Uganda, Liberia, Senegal may prioritize sustainable development practices over building skyscrapers. Architects in Africa prioritize designing buildings that adapt to the local climate and environmental conditions, utilizing materials and techniques that are suited to each region's unique challenges and opportunities. African architecture embraces eco-friendly features like natural ventilation, solar panels, and rainwater harvesting systems to reduce environmental impact and promote sustainability. Africa's skyline is gaining momentum due to economic growth and improved infrastructure. Countries like South Africa, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Togo, Guinea, and Nigeria are developing skyscrapers in cities like Takoradi, Accra, Cairo, Johannesburg, and Lagos. This growth is driven by a growing middle class and foreign investment. To achieve this, African governments must invest in infrastructure, technology, and human resource development, streamline regulatory processes, and attract foreign investors. Subscribe to The Novel Reason for more intriguing insights.